What up, though? Samus Dat Presents did an interview with Michael Hoffman II called They Were White and They Were Slaves. He said something that stuck, and I tacked it on my jacket. He said, and since the received opinion is that blacks were slaves and whites were always the wealthy overseers, uh, people don't tend to rock the boat. Now, people whose profession it is to look into this matter, university historians and academicians whose job it is to investigate and sift history, have this function of political correctness, which impinges on their tenure, their salaries, and indeed their relationship to the community. So, if they begin to explore a political incorrect area, then of course they may be subject to sanctions. Secondly, we have a gigantic industry in the United States and in the West, which is determined to limit black people to a slave mentality, to tell them you've been slaves. And the only way you're ever going to get out of that is to rely on the slave mentality of the socialistic welfare democratic system, which is willing to subsidize your manumission ever further. Candace Owens said something. This is a quote from Candace Owens. This is a fact. Caribbean Americans are a much more successful group of people. So I think that it must be my Caribbean roots that compels me not to accept narratives that are given to me by the media. I really do believe that there's something about Caribbeans that we're less inclined to believe a lot of the lies. And that's also true of Africans. True African Americans, not black Americans, but African Americans. When you have immigrants, there's an incredibly successful group Caribbean Americans and true African Americans are successful when they come here. And that is because maybe we just perceive this to be a land of opportunity. And we don't allow these oppression narratives to work on us. So I have a lot of Caribbean pride. That was from Candace Owens, tapping into her Caribbean side, as all immigrants do, as all foreigners do when they come to our soil. They look at the black American, or properly, the American Indians. And they see what we have built. And it gives them a sense of entitlement. They wave their flags on our soil. they express their pride in the soil portion that they fled from, instead of going back to that soil portion and building that portion of soil up. Do the right thing.